Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to be installing the Loqed smart lock. Now, this is a smart lock from a Dutch company called Loqed, spelled L-O-Q-E-D, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and this is their touch smart lock. Now, this lock has all sorts of security ratings, which I'll talk more about in the review, and they reckon you can install this in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. We're going to get this installed on my back door and see how easy it is to get installed and set up. Okay, so before we get started installing this, I want to show you what you actually get in the box, and also I've got the optional power pack as well over here. So the optional power pack at the moment includes two Europe to UK socket adapters, because at the moment this comes with a European socket, and same for the bridge that comes with it as well, but this is being updated in time. To be honest, these are pretty high quality, so I don't think it really matters that they need an adapter, but just worth mentioning that at the moment because that is a European socket, but Loqed are working on that. And then this power pack also comes with a set of rechargeable batteries from Loqed, and then a plug with a 3-meter cable which you can use to plug into the smart lock when you need to charge this up. Now, this is an optional pack that is sold separately and costs about £30, I think. But of course, you don't actually need this. You could buy your own rechargeable batteries if you wanted to, or you could just use normal disposable ones. So let's talk about the Loqed box itself and what you actually get with it. So in the packet, you get the bridge, and it's really good to see a company actually including the bridge with a smart lock rather than it being something you need to purchase separately. You get this, which is the part that goes on the outside of your door. So if I show you this, it's that touch bit there. You get this, which goes on the inside. And there's different adapters for this as well, which are those bits there. And that depends on kind of how your door is set up. This is the outside of this bit, so we'll fit that as part of that, and then of course you've got a handle to go with that as well. You've got a little bag with lots of little tools in which you're going to need. You've got this, which is the cylinder part of your lock. This is used for locking it. You get a screwdriver, really important, and then of course you get your batteries as well. So let's go and get this installed. Okay, so installation check is done by going to the Loqed website, hitting installation, and then go down to here and check the installation guide. Now they say it can be done in 20 minutes. Another part of their page says 30. So let's see how it's gonna work. So basically we're just gonna work through the steps on here. Okay, so first thing you want to do is make sure you've got all of this stuff as per this list. And I've already checked that, so I have got all of that. Okay, so in terms of tools, what you need is a screwdriver. They do include one. I'm going to use this electric one because it's going to make life a little bit easier. And that should be all you need. So let's crack on. Okay, so first thing to do is we need to remove the existing cylinder. Now, on most Euro cylinders like this, it's done by removing a screw there, and then you can get it out. So you need the key as well. So I've got my screwdriver on lock, so we're just going to remove that screw. Okay, so we're going to take that screw out, and we're actually going to need to keep hold of that because we are going to need that later. So we'll take that out like that, and make sure you keep that to one side. And then we can remove this cylinder by twisting the key slightly to feel where it gives, which is there for me, and then just pull it out like that. And the reason we have to feel where it gives is because when the lock is in place, that little catch basically holds it in, so you have to twist the lock to a point where that is flat, so you can just pull it out like that. And we're not going to need that again, so I'm going to pop that to one side. You of course may want to keep that if you do need to change back, if you have problems with your installation. Now the next step is we also need to remove our door handle. So on mine, I've got a front and back, and I undo it by removing that screw and that screw. So I'm just going to undo those as well. And what you're going to want to do is support the other side, because once these screws come out, the other side will just fall off. Okay, so I've undone those screws and I've just left them in for now so I can hold this on and show you guys. But you're going to want to keep these two screws because you can need them later. You're also still going to use the existing outside parts. So you want to make sure you keep hold of your handle. So I'm just going to remove those now. Okay, so at this point I've removed the spindle, I've removed the outside, and I've removed the inside, and I've got the two screws there. So I'm keeping hold of all of that because I am going to need it. Okay, so our first step is going to be to fit this, which is a touch panel, onto the outside of our outside handle. So we'll cover where this keyhole goes. So first thing we need to do is separate these two parts. So you've got this black bit here and you've got the outside bit. So we're going to undo these two screws and remove this. Okay, so remove those two screws, This bit has come completely off and we've got a cable here, so we just need to be quite careful with this because obviously this is a cable, you don't want to damage that. At this point you probably also want to take off this wrapper from the outside, it just protects it, just because I think it's going to be tricky to get off once this is attached. Okay, so what I've done is I've just removed it from around the edges because I know the edge is going to be a pain when it's stuck on, but I'm just going to leave it on there to protect it for a bit now. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to attach it to this. So basically this bit is going to be on the outside like that, and this bit is going to be inside to hold it into place. So we're going to take this cable and we're just going to feed it through there. And then what I'm going to do is from the other side, we're going to attach that back. Okay, so that's done nice and easy. So those screws are back in there. That is on the outside and that just sits nice and flush. Actually, my handle, this is perfect. And that's what you need to do from there. So that is the outside handle dealt with. Okay, so the next step is to put this on the outside of the door. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed in this cable at the same time. So obviously that's just going to go back on like that. So let's do that. Okay, so as we're doing this, obviously the spindle goes back where the spindle went before, and the cable is going to go through the keyhole. So we're just going to poke that all the way through as we put this on. So there you go, that has gone through. So we'll grab that from the other side. Okay, so we now have my outside handle placed back on, got the module there, and the cable goes all the way through where the lock was and comes out there. Okay, so the next step is to fit this cylinder, and it goes this way from the inside. So it's going to go through there into the old cylinder hole. And if you look at this, you can see that this cylinder actually has a little gap at the bottom, which is designed for the cable to go in. So I'm going to put that in and then I'll show you guys. I don't think I can show you on the camera because it's going to require both hands. Okay, so that is in. You should be able to turn this manually about 90 degrees each way when you know it's in. And it basically works the same as that one that we took off. So basically there is a little bit of twists. So what you want to do now that's in is you want to put the screw that you removed earlier from the old cylinder back into there. Okay, so that's my screw back in place, and at this point I've got the outside handle attached, although of course it's not secured in, and I've got the inside bit with this spindle in place, and of course you can see there my spindle going out the door. Okay, next we're going to turn our attention to this piece, which of course is the part that goes on the inside, and we're going to need to use the hex key that came with it to remove these two screws here. There's also another one here which we're going to need to remove as well. So that is 3 in total we're going to have removed. Make sure you put them to one side. I will just show you they are all the same length, so you don't need to worry about that. So once you've done that, this bit module is now loose. And we just want to take that out of there for now. So at this point what we want to do is we want to put this over here and just make sure it all lines up properly. And at this point you want to make sure that this, so you can see the top is flat and the edges are rounded, it needs to be that way round. So make sure the tops or bottoms are flat and the sides are rounded. So then we place that over our door. Okay, so there we go, that's placed over there. Obviously the spindle is going into the middle of there, which I don't know if you guys can see, and obviously the cable has come out down there and this has come out from down there as well. So the next step is to secure it on, and this is where you need the original screws that you used with your handle. So for me that's this one. So we also need a couple of parts that came in this bag of stuff. So we need big washers, which is these two, and we need the smaller ones, which is these two. So I'm just going to pop that stuff to the side for now so I don't lose it. So I've taken my screw and I've placed a little washer of it like that. So the little washer fits the screw like so. And then the big washer is going to do the same. So it's going to go that way over the top. So you end up with something a bit like that. So I'm going to do the same with the other one. And then what we do at this point is we join this onto the original holes. So you see where my handle has the spaces for holes here and here, we're going to put them through here so that all joins. So let's do that now. Okay, so what you end up with is obviously this up here, and for me this one down here, using exactly the same holes we had before through the door, and of course on the outside it secures like that. So I actually tighten this a little bit more, which I'm going to do, yeah, nice and simple. This is all now secured on. Okay, the other thing I want to do at this point is just make sure that this is exactly in the middle of this, which for me, I'm pretty sure that is, so that's good. And at this point, you also want to check that the spindle turns. So if I just lift the door from the outside, that works. If I lift it up, multi-points come in, and you can see that is all working exactly as it should be, because that moves in and out, which is perfect. And as that's all working, you want to use this Allen key just to make sure that is nice and tight, which it is for me already. Okay, that means it's time to put the motor back on. Now, you can put it on in a variety of ways depending on your door, but it's got to go on in a way that means it sits flat. So for me, I think it's probably going to work better if it goes like that, I think, because obviously that is where that goes. So let me have a look. Yeah, so for me, it's going to sit best like that, but this can go the other way around as well. So that bit can be at the bottom, which you saw when I took this off. So for me, that is the correct orientation. And what you can do then is you can put the Allen screws back in. So I have a screw up there and I've got two down here. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so that's my Allen screws back in up there. And what I like to do with things like this is put them in loosely to start with and make sure they're all in, and then tighten them up, which I've done. And you just do that with the Allen key that comes with the lock. Okay, and at this point you just want to check that this turns. So you should hear a click, but you shouldn't feel much resistance, which is exactly what I'm getting from this. So that's perfect, that does what I need it to do. And of course you can check the handle again if you want to. And what it means is it's time to connect up our cables. So this cable, which is one that comes from the outside, goes up here. And then this cable, which was already on the inside, goes up there. And I don't know how well you're going to see this, but basically these cables can only go in one way. So you should only find that that slots in a particular way. So okay, so that's both of these cables in now, and basically each of these cables has an end that is slightly longer at the bottom, and so the longer end goes in the base. So you have these holes at the top and the cables at the bottom, just like that. Of course, if you've got this on the other way around, so it's upside down, it will obviously go the other way around. Okay, so the next step is to put in the batteries. I've got these rechargeable ones from Loqed. You might just use the Energizer ones that come with it, and the batteries just go in the orientations they say. So I don't know if you can see this, but it has a plus up there, so that one's going to go with the plus side just there. Okay, so all my batteries are in. We've got all 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they basically alternate. So you've got your plus there, minus there, plus there, minus there, plus there, minus there, plus there, minus there, and it's on because the light has lit up, which is great. So we're in business. Okay, so what we do now, and we're nearly at the end, is we take this, which is the inside plate that would normally go over like that, but we're going to put it on like that to start with and just place it over the spindle. And there is a reason for that. And the reason for that is we have to work out which of these is the right one to use. So if we look at this, I've got a bit more space at the bottom, but a lot more space above it. So the one I'm going to need is, I think, going to be that one. Let's have a look. Yes, so I'm going to need that one because this one has the light hole there, so that will fit over like that perfectly. So that's what I want. Okay, so at this point we just need to tidy up our cables, and there's space for them to tuck in there. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to tuck it in there. Okay, so there's space to tidy your cables. So this one kind of tucks in there. This one tucks around the outside like that. And that just means they're not going to be in the way when we put this plate on. So let's grab this plate. So it's this plate, it went that way around. So we'll just pop that over the top and press that on. Okay, so once the black plate is in place, you just place this outer handle back over it the right way round, and then the final thing to do is to put the handle on. So the handle is done really easily. Okay, at this point you need the handle that came with it. There's a screw which goes into there. I recommend you put that in a little bit before you put this on, and you need this black ring. So what you do is you put a black ring just over here like that, and then you put the handle on over the top, and then the handle of course screw into that hole you can see there. So the handle goes on like that, and then what you want to do is just use the Allen key to tighten that up. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so that's my handle on. That all works. You can see that moves everything, that lifts everything we want it to do. We can now remove this bit of plastic as well, which I'm just going to do just so this becomes nice and exposed. And I will also show you, you've got these 2 pins up here. These can be used with a 9-volt battery if you do run out of battery, just so you can still get in. Okay, so the final thing to do is to get this plugged in. This needs to be within 3 meters of your lock. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so my bridge is now plugged in. So the next step is for me to download the app, and I'm going to take you guys along for the journey of getting that set up as well. When you first open the app, you're going to need to set up an account and verify your email, and then you need to click the burger menu in the top right and choose Set Up New Lock. It asks you to confirm that you've installed it and then choose the lock color. Then you want to check the white light is on and then hit continue. It then might take a little bit of time to connect and search for your lock, but it didn't take too long. And then it asks you for a location of your smart lock, which I'm not going to show you guys, and then the type of batteries that are in it. So for me, that is the rechargeable ones. Next, it asks you what side the lock is on, so it knows if it needs to go clockwise or counterclockwise. It then asks you to go outside to answer the next question, which is all around whether you need to move your handle for the latch to move or not. Then you have to answer if you need to lift your lock to lock, which for most multi-point doors you do, and then also if you need to turn the lock with the key after moving the handle up to lock. And then of course you've got a question about how far you need to turn that lock in order to actually lock your door. So do you need to turn it a lot for it to be locked, or do you need to turn it a little bit? And you can obviously play around with that with the lock itself to find that out. For me, I have to turn it a full rotation. At this point you can choose if you want to set up an access code, which you can use from the outside to get in. Again, I'm not going to show you mine. You can then give your lock a name as well. So mine's going on the back door, so it can be called back door. Next up, it connects to the lock and does a little bit of setting up on the actual lock itself. And then it starts a calibration process, just where it twists it around just to see how far it can actually twist. And you need to do this with your door open. So at this point, your lock is pretty much set up and it's time to get the bridge going. So make sure it is plugged in and it has a white light on the front. It then looks for your bridge and it connects to your bridge. And again, this might take a little bit of time. I'm just speeding up some of these so we get through the video. Next, you're asked to select your Wi-Fi network and put in a password. Now, it's worth saying that this is only compatible with 2.4 gigahertz networks. I have an Amazon Eero mesh network and it worked fine with that because that supports both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks. And then finally, once the bridge is finished, you get a success message and you can now see your door just there in the app screen where you can lock and unlock it and view the status. So there you go, that is the installation video for the Loqed smart lock. I actually forgot to film a closing sequence when I was installing it yesterday, and I'm just coming around to that now as I'm editing that video. All in all, it took me about 25 minutes to install, so when Loqed say 20 minutes to kind of half an hour on a website, they're pretty much bang on with that. A nice easy install process, a nice simple setup process, and also really well kind of documented on the website with nice simple to follow steps, which is great to see. So I'm going to be using this lock for the next couple of weeks and then I'm going to make a full review for you guys. So if you want to be first to see that, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you've got any questions about the installation process, do stick them below and I'll try and help you guys out if you are stuck. And then final thing is, if you do actually just want to purchase one now, I have put a purchase link below as well. I will see you guys again soon.